Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to DSF. My name is Logan, and we are here at Hub Seng Star Bukit Tinggi in Klang for the launch of 3 new Mercedes EQE models, as well as an update to another EQE model. And they also launched a new project called Star Elegance, which we've already covered. So today we're going to focus on these cars first of all. That car you see over there is the EQE 350 Plus AMG line. That is just a minor update, so we'll get to that one last. We'll start here with this EQE 350 Plus electric art line. So this car, as you can see, is very typical EQE design, right? It hasn't really changed much. Maybe you get a new front bumper. This is, of course, a new spec level, so the badge isn't one of those protruding badges like in older Mercedes compressor models and all that, but it is still a very stylish looking thing. And you also get new rims, which you will notice here, a new design on these rims. Now this car will cost 379,888 ringgit, which is substantially cheaper than before, but the AMG line is still well over 400. So we'll take you around the side of the car first, and you'll notice that there really aren't much changes at all. And of course, for those confused, let me just show you how to unlock the doors, the pop-up door handles on Mercedes-Benz cars. So when the car is like this, when the door handle is like this, you take your hand, brush it. It'll pop out, and then you can easily open the door to get inside your Mercedes-Benz, which we'll get inside of in a second. You can see on the side mirror there as well, there is a blind spot indicator, which is part of the ADAS system. You have your fuel tank, well, not fuel tank, electric charging port back here. And of course, round the back, being an E-Class, well, an electric E-Class, you still get fantastic boot space. So just simply push the logo in, which doubles up as a reversing camera, and you'll notice this huge boot space along with all your charging equipment here in this bag, conveniently stored away, and a false floor as well with, well, no spare tire, but you do get all these other charging essentials here, which will make your life that much easier, as well as this teh tarik hook here. And then of course you see these buttons here to drop your seats down, and it's a one-touch tumble too. So if you just keep an eye on that while I press this button, so there you go, one-touch tumble, and you can easily load all your longer items in. And of course, power tailgate. So that sums up the exterior of this EQE 350 art line, electric art line. Let's take a look inside of it. Okay, so inside is your typical Mercedes-Benz affair. You have this gloss black trim here, piano black trim in here with your cup holders as well. So you can keep your drinks cool with 2 USB ports down here. You've also got a very decently sized cubby with even more USB ports here. You have your SOS button, Mercedes Me button, light button, so on and so forth. You'll notice there is no sunroof here, but you do get your door visors with your visors with a light and a vanity mirror. Your steering wheel is typical Mercedes EQE steering wheel. It's not flat bottom, but you do get all the updated controls right here, which makes it easy. Your gear selector stock, your other functions, and a nice small screen for your digital driver display, which well, the steering wheel does sort of impede at the corners of it, but that's not a big issue because most of the screen at the corners is just blacked out anyway. You've also got a nice MBUX infotainment system here.
To use it, you first have to activate
And yeah, Mercedes-Benz is asking me to subscribe to use the MBUX service. But hey, that's fantastic to have anyway. All your controls here, power on off for the infotainment, and your aircon vent is actually on the top, which I prefer so it doesn't blow on your hands. But what do you guys think? Do you prefer the twin screen setup, or do you prefer something like this? I personally prefer this because it just feels a lot more normal to me. Okay, up next we have the EQE SUV. So that was the sedan, this is the SUV, and this is also in the electric art line trim, which is the base level, the base spec. So you'll notice more or less the same badge. You do get a continuous light bar in the front here though, so that's a very nice design. You've got your hollowed out Mercedes-Benz grille because of course this is an EV, and a nice bumper design. And of course, coming around the side of the car, you'll notice pretty much the same standard EQE affair. You've also got windshield wiper fluid here. You've got your nice big mirrors here with the ADAS functions. And of course, the doors open the exact same way. Simply slide your hand, The doors will pop out, you can open them. These rims though, I would love to point them out. So these are a very unique rim cover to me, because like they do have some holes right here in the middle, as you guys can see, but towards the edges they just get blocked out again. So I'm not really sure what the purpose of this is. Maybe it's to help with aerodynamics, but it is a very unique design nonetheless. And of course, out the back you've got great visibility, and of course the same thing with the booth. Just press the logo in, it doubles as a reverse camera as well, and look at that. So this is actually, in my opinion, a lot bigger than the EQE Sedan. So if you have like a bigger family, or if you need more space to carry things for camping and whatnot, this would be the ideal option for you, because it's not as powerful as say a 500 4MATIC, but you can see here the false floor has so much more usable space. You still don't get a spare tire though, which is quite sad, but I think all things considered, this is a massive boot. So that should sum up the rear of the car, which again also has a continuous light bar here. uh, a very common design these days, right? So let's take you inside to see what you get in this EQE Electric Artline SUV 350 Plus. Okay, so here we have the Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 Plus SUV in AMG line trim. So this is the top spec trim, and this one will run you about 448,888 ringgit, which is by no means cheap, of course, but it's still a lot better if you're considering an EQE 500 4MATIC, because if you don't need all that power, or if you don't want something that's just all go all the time, and you need something that has a bit more range, this is definitely the one you would go for. But it's still a lot sportier than, well, sportier looking than the electric Artline base model. So what are the differences? You'll notice the bumper is a slightly different design, but more or less it's the same. Off to the sides, you'll get one thing is similar, which is the rims. Those are exactly similar, but you do get a little footwell here to make your ingress and egress a lot easier to get in and out of the car. Of course, the same thing with the pop-up door handles. Simply rub your fingers there and the doors will pop up to get you inside your EQE. But you'll notice these rims are blacked out in a sense, where those were a little bit silvery. And of course, same thing with the booth. Simply press it in and voila. Now let's go inside the AMG line, see what you get that's different in there. All right, first things first, you'll notice it's immediately a lot brighter in this AMG line trim as compared to the electric art line. And that's partly due to you get ambient lighting here. You have a wood veneer finish on your dashboard rather than the dingy, gloomy black finish that you got in the electric art line. But you've still got the same cup holders, USB ports with an NFC tag here, and the same cubby space here with more USB ports, but you do have a similar setup for the digital driver display and the infotainment. The only difference being that now you also get this ambient lighting as well as a sunroof up here, which makes the whole interior a lot brighter. You'll also notice that the steering wheel is different. You get an AMG specific steering wheel, which is flat bottom, rather than the typical Mercedes-Benz round steering wheel, as you can see here, which has more of the same functions, just in a slightly different layout. So let's take a look at the EQE Sedan in AMG line that's been updated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the final product that Mercedes-Benz has launched today of the four cars, this being the Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 Plus Sedan. But this is in AMG line trim. That was in electric art line. So this is the head honcho, the more expensive variant. And you'll notice up front, not really that much difference, right? You get more or less the same bumpers. Well, the front bumper is slightly different. You've got more or less the same wheels with a different design again. You've got more or less everything is similar here in this car and that car as well. So come around the side, more or less the same all over again. Nothing much to say that's different. In the rear, same thing, EQE 350 Plus, same booth, same light bar, same charging equipment, same everything. And of course, you also still have your one-touch tumble seat dropping buttons here, along with the boot closing button here. Let's go inside. Okay, so once again, in keeping with the exterior, the interior of this AMG line EQE 350 Plus sedan is more or less the same with the electric art line on the inside. The main differences being you have AMG seats here with a different material and leatherette. You have this AMG specific steering wheel, which is much nicer than the round steering wheel you get in the electric Artline, to me at least. You've also got the same black gloss finish here on your dashboard, but you do get ambient lighting as well, which you can find on your door card or around the aircon vent, so on and so forth, which help make the whole thing pop a bit more and makes the cabin feel a lot brighter. Also making the cabin feel a lot brighter is the addition of a moonroof up here. So for all these differences, the asking price of 429,888 ringgit is more than justified in my opinion, even though it is quite a jump from the lower spec electric Artline. So what do you guys think of these four cars that Mercedes-Benz Malaysia has just shown us today?